So, welcome to the session. We are on page 54 hmm, of this book. What is the name of the book? Experiencing Being, the Golden Lotus Sutra on Life. Why are they called the Golden Lotus Sutras? We've talked about it many times, but a reminder always helps. The word sutra, it has many meanings. One meaning is a thread, something that, combines or binds things together. Also, it means a formula, so, or something that is densely packed with knowledge or wisdom. Like you may have come across this formula, very famous because of Einstein. E is equal to mc square. Now that one formula with only four words has a world of meaning. It has tremendous amount of meaning and implications and so on. Similarly, the sutras that we study in these books, they have depth of knowledge. There is the need to unpack this knowledge, which is what we are trying to do here. Do a little bit of mental industry. थोड़ा दिमागी घोड़े दौड़ा रहे हैं. Making a little effort mentally and trying to understand this, right? So, for example, the Gita or the Ramcharitmanas, they are not sutras. They have shlok. They, when they are sutras, they tend to be very, very tightly condensed. बहुत tight packing होती है knowledge की. एक हर शब्द की बहुत deep meaning होता है. So that is why it takes an effort. And why golden and why lotus? Golden because, usually the color of spirituality, of spiritual development, like, if you remember in the advanced pranic healing book, there is the golden body of a yogi. So gold is associated with energy coming down from the divine soul, from the divine or from the higher soul, coming down through the spiritual cord. And why lotus? Because the crown chakra, which is our spiritual chakra, it tends to be highly activated so that it looks like a lotus. So lotus का काफी spirituality से संबंध है, And why do you think Master called this book Experiencing Being? Because many times we may live life mechanically, बस जीने के लिए जी रहे हैं, जैसे सब लोग जी रहे हैं वैसे हम जी रहे हैं. वी आर जस्ट copying everyone else, and everyone else is copying everyone else in how to live life. But here Master is saying you experience your being. You are being means you are living. So experience your life, must experience every moment, and the experience should not be as the bodies but as the soul. Because the soul is the true permanent being, and the bodies are, of course, a part of the being, but they are more temporary, right? I mean, these are my thoughts on why we are, why Master chose to call this experiencing being. So it's all related to living our life purposefully, living our life with full awareness and consciousness. All right, page 54. So we had done sutra number 1. Let's resume from sutra number 2. Sex is divine. Let's read the next two sutras also. They are quite connected. So the first sutra was sex is divine. When sex energy is not suppressed and properly channeled, it may bring you to samadhi or illumination. Sex energy is like spiritual fuel. When sex energy is regulated and transmuted, it can lead to oneness. So again, lot of wisdom packed in these, simple looking lines. These lines look simple, but there is a lot of wisdom packed in them. So the previous sutras, if you look at the first sutra or the sutras just before that, they were talking about how sex energy is necessary for development of the upper chakras, for mental development. Like the first sutra says, sexual energy is needed to upgrade your brain cells. So for mental sharpness, better memory, and so on. Now here we are talking about sex energy being important or necessary for illumination, for samadhi, for experiencing divine oneness. And one of the great teachings that Master has given to us is that the life of Lord Krishna, it teaches us this, that sex is not just physical, emotional, but an instrument or a method of spiritual union. Because, that's what Master has said in his other books about Lord Krishna, that when, Lord Krishna is evolving, his partner is also evolving. And that is the method he's given us. We can incorporate it as a part of our spiritual journey. We will evolve, our partner will evolve, and future upcoming sutras will tell us about it. So just for your reference, in this book, Existence of God is Self-Evident, just look at pages 147, 148, 149. Maybe just write it down somewhere, page 147, 148, 149. There Master has discussed this. Or in this great book by Master Choai, Inner Secrets of Hinduism Revealed, around page 50, Master has talked about Lord Krishna and how Lord Krishna's life teaches us about the importance of sex energy or importance of sex, or how it can be helpful in our spiritual development. And one thing that Master talks about here is transmutation. So, if you remember the soul class, you have learned the technique of transmutation, the psychotherapy class. And even when you do the super brain yoga, I hope you do super brain yoga regularly. When you do that there also you are transmuting sex energy, basic energy, taking it to the upper chakras. All right, let's move forward. Now we are on the second last sutra, and let's read the next three sutras together. Regulate your lower nature. Do not suppress it. Regulate it. So you can see Master is distinguishing between regulation and suppression. Sex is good, but in moderation. So the difference between suppression and regulation is the right amount of moderation. Sex energy can be transmuted into love and mercy, greater intelligence, and into spiritual energy. And this actually is one of the important things that is a part of the Lord's Prayer meditation. Lord's Prayer meditation. If you have not done that meditation, you should get hold of the CD and do it, because that is very helpful. If you don't have access to the CD, please post in the groups, and maybe we will do a group meditation sometime using the prayer of, the Lord's Prayer, and do a meditation on that, the way Master has taught it. The key to I'm sorry. I'll start again. The key is to, I'm on page 55, Sutra number 1. The key is to transmute sex energy, not to suppress it. When sex energy moves from the lower chakras up to the heart, the throat, and the crown chakras, sex energy is transmuted into love, kindness, intelligence, illumination, and divine oneness. All this, you will understand even better, and you will understand the technique if you do the Lord's Prayer meditation. So, Master talks about the lower chakras. When sex energy moves from the lower chakras. The lower chakras, of course, we are talking about the sex chakra, but also it can include the basic chakra. And, not only sexual energy, but also energies related to working, money, prosperity, etc., which are more connected with the basic chakra. So all these energies can be transmuted, right? And that is a part of our lower nature. Now, what Master is saying is that this can be, through transmutation, it can be taken to the upper chakras. And there, the body automatically changes the vibration, the subtleness of the energy. Your body is a energy transformer. As the energy goes from lower chakras to upper chakras in the natural way, in the proper way, you will find that it reaches the upper chakras in the right vibration, in the right frequency. Correct? Now, the important thing that Master is telling us here is regulate, do not suppress. Because if you suppress, the attitude is wrong and it leads to problems, which we have talked about in earlier sutras. So the important thing is right attitude and the use of will to moderate. Correct? You see, it's always, I keep saying, there are two factors involved in changing your life. अगर आपको अपने जिंदगी में कोई हैबिट्स को चेंज करना है, दो चीजों की जरूरत है. Number one, what do you need? You need awareness, or you need, yeah, awareness. I think awareness is the right word. You need to have awareness, or let us say the right attitude. Second thing you need, second thing that you need is will. Because without awareness, what do you apply your will in? And if there is no will, you may know, yeah, I know that I have this weakness, but if there is no application of will, then this will be a problem because no change will happen. And in the sutras also, master is like the last sutra on page 54. When you transmute the energy, what are the benefits? Your love energy, energy of mercy, your intelligence, and spiritual energy, they will all increase. And in the last sutra, of course, master is talking about the mechanics. You know what happens? How does it happen? That he has discussed. Shall we move forward? If there's anything to ask or discuss, you may please type the question. All right. Now we'll look at the next two sutras and the last sutra on page 55 together. Be selective in choosing your partner. Practice energy hygiene. Your energy must be compatible with that of your partner. For example, a vegetarian's energy body is substantially cleaner than that of a non vegetarian or a smoker. Contamination occurs when you have many partners. Passion must be regulated. There is nothing wrong with desire, but do not be enslaved by it. I think these sutras little more applicable to societies where sex is a little more casual, or let's say casual sex is more popular. I don't think that this is a problem so much in societies like ours, but nonetheless, this is still, the principles are the same. So, so for example, if you are an advanced arhatic yogi, you have been practicing for many years and you are regular, so your energy body has become very, 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 very subtle. Now, if you have sex with a person with, because in sex, your bodies, your auras, they fuse, they come very, very close together. I mean, they practically fuse into each other. So you will find that there can be very severe contamination, so not advised, not advised. Now, it is not a problem if you are having sex with your regular partner, for example, your spouse, because over time, slowly as your body has changed, your body has remained adjusted to the energy of your partner and vice versa. So that is how one has to understand it. I remember somebody talking about it once, giving an example where there was this arhatic practitioner in some European city, and he somehow had the desire for sex, so he hired a sex worker. So that lady came and then they had sex in the morning. I mean, this happened in the night. In the morning, he could not get out of bed. He was so badly contaminated, and he could not. So he couldn't even raise his hand to call somebody to say, please heal me. Now this is something that I've heard. I haven't experienced, I mean, I've not come across that person myself, but this is what from a very reliable source. So he's kept doing, you healing through intention and so on. He kept doing that until he was in a position to lift his phone and call somebody and say, please, please heal me, because he got so badly contaminated. So again, that is the necessity of regulation. Again, awareness and will, attitude, correct attitude towards sex, and practice in moderation. You see, when there is the will gets involved. Then I, the soul, is in control and it is not the sex chakra. If you look at people who commit sex crimes, like rapists and so on, the problem is their sex chakra is so massive. It is completely controlling their behavior, their personality. So, in a sense, one can have a little sort of compassion for that person meaning that soul is helpless in front of the sex chakra. The will is not sufficiently developed, not able to control the sex chakra. So that is the thing. So for the lesson for us is that we need to be in control. Who's we? Who's I? I, the soul, needs to be in control. That is why the application of will is important. Okay, we missed one sutra. Let's come back to that. This is the second last sutra on page 55. When the system becomes cleaner, the experience is deeper. Now, really think about this sutra. This can be understood at many levels. So, for example, when we say deeper, it means it is more emotional, and in a sense, even the soul has got involved because the intimacy experienced is very, very deep. It is an expression of great love, and there is also the experience of oneness. Now, it is not possible when the system is very, when we say system, of course, it means all the bodies, the soul, of course, and all the bodies. Now, if all the bodies are very, very dirty, then the act of sex becomes largely role only of the sex chakra. Soul is not involved, emotions may not get involved, and it is a largely physical action. You see, I keep giving you this example. Think of the soul as a bulb and the bodies as the things that are covering the bulb. Now, if the coverings are dirty, then the light of the bulb does not shine through. It doesn't find expression. But if these are clean, then the light of the bulb will shine through. And that is what will happen. The light will shine through to the partner and of course to yourself. And now it applies to both partners. You see, so when we say when the system becomes cleaner, whose system? One person or both persons? So obviously, if both of them, the system is clean, the experience for both of them is very deep, very profound. But if even one of them has a cleaner system, and when we say cleaner system, all the bodies are quite clean, the experience for that person and the other person is better than if both of them, the systems were not clean. And I'm sure some of you are married or you are active sexually. So I don't know if you have experienced this in your life. Do we have time? Okay, it's 6:20 already.